S&P 500.
It's your boy Jimmy. Jimmy.
Now, what's worth doing is worth doing for money.
Straight from y'all street to Wall Street.
Anybody tells you money's the root of all evil doesn't make up.
Dudes wake up, hope their girl turned on so they can get a little bit. Only woman in the morning I wanna turn on this Becky quick. While the average man looking at it's sad like she fine as it. I'm over here looking at tails and whips like 5'6". I left the mayhem for the market. Now I don't want a dope spot, I want a stock pick. I know that booty got dry, triggered my stop losses, but I ain't got time for your wop. My V-wops crossing. Rich with hot V's and pushing hot strategy and plans to make grand. Still in my wife beater, Batman pajamas, house slides, and about 5 hot picks for the day. Cause I like the way the Dow bounces. 4 hot dips on call, so I got options. 2 with a lot of volume, 1 with a double bottle. Now I know dumb money don't understand. Am I talking about my trade or just thinking with my MACD? You see, we different in the way we move. You move with kittens and your dog, I move with bears and wolves. I got a green thumb, grow with the marijuana. Waking up with the future, some commas. Jump out of bed, big profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, big profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs and die. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Profits. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETL, make profits. I jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. Yeah. See, me and Jim Cramer been talking mad money. Said today I'm taking a risk. They got the feds coming, but I got support here with me. I call a short squeeze. You get the drop, pull the trigger, and abort these. If she stay on my watch list, I might have to wife her. But I know better. I'm a true trading group lifer. Call up the Wolf of Weed Street. It's time to flip some profits. Go ahead, be hawking. Get your spot here. I'll double top that in the head and shoulders. Hit him up with this resistance. Watch him roll over. Cause I see John Wicks in contract. If I say I make $1 million a day, well, that's a large cap. You moving average, that's why you get crossed. Get split, get delisted, and knocked off. And I'm setting the whole block off. I'm buying GameStop and selling them roadblocks off. Jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs and die. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Profits. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETL. Hey, my family. Hey, go, what we doing, my man? Hey, make profits. Hey, Suge, Mike, what we doing? Hey, make profits. Yo, Wolf, Professor, what we doing? Hey, make profits.
That TTG money gang.
Hey, make profits.
We some snipers.
Hey, yo, what's up, everyone? What's going on, folks? Welcome to the True Trading Group live stream. My name is Michael Edward Parinati, and I go by Michael Edward. I'm the co-founder and head trader of True Trading Group. In case you know, we were Benzinga FinTech Awards finalists last year for Best Data Analysis Tool, and we are currently the fastest growing and highest rated premium online educational platform that combines university-level trading and investing courses with premium stock market tools, live workshops, and individual mentorship and coaching for stocks, options, crypto, and futures. We day trade, we swing trade. We also cover long-term investing. There is literally something for everyone here at True Trading Group. Now, JP Morgan's calling me. Can't talk to you right now. Okay. Big day here in the overall markets, guys. Big day here in the markets as the sell-off that we experienced yesterday continues a little bit further to the downside. The pullback that we've gotten now for the last couple of weeks, it's continued. We've been all over this pullback here inside of True Trading Group. We called out this pullback in True Trading Group. It's been something that we've really been able to capitalize on. We've had, one of our moderators, Shai, had actually her biggest week ever in history. Biggest week ever, as she's been just ripping positions off on swing trades, on put options to the downside. One of the big ones, actually Alphabet to the downside, and a handful of others that just went some fantastic and some really great trades for us here inside of TTG. And the analysis that we've been sharing, not only just within our members of True Trading Group, but I've been sharing it right here on this YouTube channel with you guys on what it was that we were expecting from this market. And you might be wondering why you should pay attention to anything it is that I discuss or that I talk about on this live stream. It's not because I think I'm the world's greatest trader. It's not because I have a 100% win rate. It's because I was taught and trained by professionals on Wall Street. My first job out of college was working at T3 Alpha Fund in New York City. They had me go through a training program before they let me touch $1 of their money. And then 2008 happened, and that was the Great Recession, the big stock market crash, but also the same year that I received one of the firm's Trader of the Year awards. And then you fast forward, and now I'm the co-founder and head trader of TTG, and along with my team of 8 other professional full-time trading mods and an over 30-person staff, we've helped thousands of members from all over the world to reach their goals. We have about 10,000 members in 115 different countries, truly a global community here at TTG with members from all walks of life and from all experience levels. So if you guys are ready to learn, trade, and profit for real, you've come to the right place. 6 nights a week, Sunday through Friday, I go live on this YouTube channel with myself, other mods, and sometimes special guests even. We'll drop golden nuggets, give you free lessons, education, trade ideas, and commentary that can help you guys become better traders, that can help you flat out and simply make money. That's what we're all here for, okay? That is what we are all here for. The goal is to make money. And that is exactly what we have been able to do. And we've been able to do that because a couple of reasons. One, this is the most opportunistic environment that I've ever seen. I've been doing this for 18 years. I feel like a broken record when I say these things because I've been saying it now for the last several years. But just because I've been saying it for the last several years doesn't make it any less true. You know, anyone that's been trading longer than the COVID crash will tell you that this is not typically the level of volatility that you'll see in the index and in large cap stocks. You have large caps that are moving around like mid caps that are moving around like small caps, and small caps that are moving around like penny stocks. There's so much opportunity. There's so much action. Now you throw in the mix of that crypto with Bitcoin back into the 60,000 marks. It's just like, there's just so much volatility and there's so much opportunity that you could just close your eyes and throw a dart at a dartboard and land on a ticker symbol that you can probably trade that day and make money from it. It didn't used to be that way. You go back to like 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, the markets were harder to make money. You had to identify and find where opportunity was. It didn't just jump out off the screen and slap you in the face like it does now today. You know, you have the biggest down day that the markets had all year yesterday, where you were down, you know, over 2% on the S&P, over 3% on the NASDAQ. It's the worst day of the year for the markets. And you just knew after a day like that, it was going to get like a little bit more, or not necessarily after a day like that, but what I'm trying to say is, I don't think that this pullback is finished yet. And it's something I've been pretty vocal about, that my first target for this pullback was the low 540s, and we got there yesterday. Now, my next target for this pullback, we kind of got into that today. Kind of early this morning, we got into that level, and then we bounced off it very nicely. And then now we closed back down towards the lows. We're closing back down into that level. And I just still think that there's more downside here. I think that, you know, we're now sitting red on the month. So this, if we close out here, July finishes as your second red month of the year. The only red month we have so far is April. Every other month has been green. So that means July would be your second red month of the year if we close it out down here. And I think that I think we might end up, you know, finishing up the month of July somewhere inside of this region down here. And that would put us red because we started the month at like 545. So right now we're sitting 538.5. But we are getting into some pretty key support levels. And it's this gap fill right here that you guys see back here from early June. So back here from early June, you had this little resistance tops here at 537. We gapped above that. That created an open gap, and that open gap had never been filled. Now, the gap entry point is 540, where you can see when you gapped up that day, you can see 1, 2, 3 consecutive days where you find support against that level, and the market's rallied. That was the first target on the pullback. I gave you that target last week. That target was hit yesterday. So yesterday, you can see we dropped right down into 540, which is gap entry. Coming into the day today, my thoughts were that after experiencing such a massive sell-off day the day prior, there would be a little bit more follow-through to that selling pressure. And the game plan today was, I believe the markets would sell down in the morning, close this gap, get into the high 530s, and then bounce from there back into the low 540s. That was the analysis and the game plan coming into the day today, but it all goes back to this support level. And this support level is about $3 wide. You see, one of the big things that traders need to understand, and I feel like this is something that gets lost with inexperienced traders or beginner traders, is that they think support and resistance levels are just a number. It's not. They're areas, they're zones. And it's our job as traders to identify how wide these zones actually are so that we can determine whether or not a level is broken or whether a level is being tested. There's a very big difference between a level being tested and a level actually being broken. We have to determine how wide those levels are. I'm showing you right now, I have these two lines drawn on my screen because this is the level. It's a zone and it's an area, and that area is still intact. Even with today's additional decline off of yesterday's sell-off, the level is still intact. We have a very important piece of information coming out tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Eastern, and that's the PCE inflation data. Now, the PCE number is actually an inflation read that the Fed focuses more on than any other inflation read. We have a July Fed meeting coming up in a week. It is widely anticipated that there is not going to be a rate cut at that July meeting. The anticipated first rate cut is supposed to come in September. If there is something in that PCE report that, I don't know, I can't see there being a Fed cut in July. I just can't, especially now with the data that you got today. The data you got today really goes against the data that you got 1 to 2 weeks ago. Over the last 2 weeks, you've gotten very weak economic data. The labor market was weaker than expected. You've got the Philly Fed manufacturing index was much weaker than expected. Richmond was much weaker than expected. You had a lot of manufacturing and production data that has come out in the last couple of weeks, way weaker. Home sales, much weaker, right? There's been a lot of different economic data points that would suggest that the economy is really slowing. And it got to the point where investors over the last 2 weeks started to get a little concerned about how much longer can the consumer really keep this up. You take a look at some of your retail discretionary stocks like Lululemon. Lululemon is down 9% today, and that's after being down 50% off of its high. This stock is getting absolutely destroyed. You take a look at Nike. Nike down again. Look at this. Look at where Nike is. Look at this stock chart, right? Look at Lululemon. Look at this stock chart. So when I take a look at stocks like this and I see that investors are selling these names, and then you take a look at what's been going on in the bond market with yields pulling back and bond prices going higher, and then you go ahead and you take a look at the Fed futures and Fed swaps market, and you say, okay, right now, traders are actually, as of yesterday, traders are actually pricing in the possibility of not just a 25 basis point rate cut in September. You came into the day today with a 23% probability of a 50 basis point cut at the September meeting. Let me tell you what I think that would do to this market. A 50 basis point cut at the September meeting, I think signals to the market the economy is much weaker than what we think. I don't think we get a 50 basis point cut. I believe the Fed's going to give you a 25 basis point cut in September. But a 50 basis point cut, for people to begin to think that is a possibility, the only logical explanation for that thought is the economy is weakening faster than we think. And the Fed doesn't have the luxury of cutting rates in September, wait a meeting, cut another 25 the next meeting, wait a meeting, cut another 25 the next meeting, and just like skip over and do these like little slow, methodical 25 basis point cuts, assuming that the consumer and the economy is going to hold together. So I think you saw a little anxiety and a little insurance. The VIX has been moving higher over the last 2 weeks. You saw, the probability of a 50 basis point cut move up. These are the things that I start to look at. And I say, okay, people are just being a little bit more cautious. They're being a little more cautious. They're not still completely bearish. I'm not saying the market's going to crash and fall out of the sky. What I am telling you is I think that this pullback has a little bit more depth to it. And I said this last week. I didn't think this was just going to be a quick 3 to 4% pullback. I thought that this pullback had a chance to really give you a correction. A correction is a pullback of 10% off highs. Now, do we actually get a full 10% off the 565 mark and get down to the 5.10s and 12s and 5.15s to get you that. I don't know. I don't know if we actually get down a full 10%, but I do think we can see a 6 or 7 or 8% decline and really get more than just what we've seen this year, which is just like quick little 2 to 3% pullbacks and the market just go right back to all-time highs. I just don't think that that's how this pullback is going to play itself through. I think between August and September that I think there's going to be more downside. I think we're going to get a bigger pullback in this market, somewhere, probably into this region over the course of the next couple of weeks. And then I think the markets really try to find their footing and then try to bounce from there as you come out of what is historically an extremely weak time for the market. September is historically the worst month for the market during the year. Okay. And you can go back over the last 4 years. The markets have been red in the month of September for the last 4 years in a row. Now, just because it's been red the last 4 months doesn't mean it's going to be red again this year. But it's typically that time of year, that August, September, October is typically a very weak time for the markets. Could be a little bit different this year because you're going to be running up into the election in November. And usually the markets run into elections. So you could have a situation where maybe the market sells off in September and then finds their footing and then recovers and rallies October into November into the election. And then you continue with a Santa Claus rally into the end of the year as it maybe looks like a soft landing has been achieved and you finish the year on a high note. I think you could very well see the markets play themselves out that way. But that means that there's still more pullback to come in this market. And if I'm right about that, I'm going to take advantage of that and I'm going to start to buy some stuff. I have a daughter that's due to be born here within the next week. And over the course of the next month or two, if we get that pullback in the market, I'm opening up an account for her, obviously, and I'm going to be dumping a bunch of money into a bunch of names for her specifically. Everyone's going to want to know, what are some of those stocks? I'll tell you. I'm going to buy AMD. I'm going to buy Palantir. I'm going to buy Kava. I'm going to probably buy Snowflake. I'm going to buy Uber. I'm going to buy Meta. I'm going to buy Amazon, right? These are all the stocks that I'm going to probably buy NVIDIA too, but it just depends on when how deep those pullbacks actually get. But these are some of the names that I'm going to start to buy for my daughter, put into her name. So I'm hoping that we do get a nice sizable pullback over the next month or two, and I can just dump some money into some really great names. So these are some of the things that I'm thinking about from a bigger picture. And I want to pivot now and I want to shift away from kind of big picture and I want to focus more on the more micro, which is how do we actually make money from this from a day trading standpoint or from a swing trading standpoint. I just went over with you some longer term stuff that might help you with long-term portfolio positioning or what you should be targeting and where this pullback could end up. But we want to focus on, this is how we separate long-term investing and trading. You trade to generate income, you invest to build wealth. And I don't do it in the same accounts. Okay. That's why I was literally the guy, when I just said JP Morgan's calling me, I promise you he's calling me to ask me if I want to buy anything because the markets have just pulled back. That's literally, I'm telling you right now, if I was to call him back right now and put him on speaker, he's going to ask me if I want to do anything. There's anything that I want to buy like during this pullback. It's 100% what he's going to ask me. And you know, my long-term portfolio is the overwhelming majority of my funds are with JP Morgan's Wealth Management division. But my day trading and my swing trading, that accounts with Lightspeed. So when I log into my account every day to day trade or swing trade, I don't see my long-term portfolio. If you do, I think you're making a very big mistake and you should switch that immediately. You don't want to log into your trading account every day and see how much you're up or down in your long-term portfolio. It will drive you absolutely mad. Okay. It'll drive you crazy. You log into your account, the markets are up big and green one day. You think you're like, wow, look how much money I'm up. And you start trading haphazardly and you give back a bunch of money that you shouldn't have, but you still like, oh, well, I'm still up $5,000. Well, no, you were up 8. And then now you just day traded and you just lost $3,000 and you're eating into your long-term portfolio gains. That's all you're doing is you're eating into your long-term portfolio profits. Okay. You can't, that's not a good thing to do. And then to the flip side of that, you log in on a big down day like yesterday, and then you're a deer in headlights. You see your long-term portfolio is down the price of a small car. And you're like, oh my God, what do I do? Oh my God. And that's all you're focused on. Meanwhile, you're missing a ton of opportunities for you to get short or buy put options on things for a day trade or a swing trade so that you can make money from it. And you don't focus on those, you miss those opportunities. You can't look at your long-term portfolio. It's the biggest mistake you guys will ever make if every day you look at what you're up or down. Just set it and forget it. Worry about it once you're retired and you need that money to live off of. If that's not where you're at right now, then don't worry about what the value of that account is. Just buy the stocks that you love and make sure they're good stocks. Don't buy garbage. Don't buy all this nonsense that people tell you about on social media. Like, oh, there's $1 stock. It's going to be the next NVIDIA. Bullshit. Shut up. Don't buy that garbage. Just focus on high quality companies that have already proven their track record, and look for growth in really good companies. Don't try to focus on the garbage, because the garbage is how you get stuck holding bags that are down 98%. And you never end up selling the stock, because it's literally impossible mathematically for you to ever recoup your investment, because the stock is down 98%. They do a stock split, it goes down another 50%. They do another stock split, it goes down another 50%. And you're literally going to need a 2,000% gain on the stock in order to just break even. It's never going to happen. It's money that you'll never find ever again. You might as well just go roll down your window on the highway and throw your money out the window. You'll have more fun doing it. I promise you that. So, that's longer term stuff. Now I want to shift and I want to focus on day trading and swing trading. Anyone who gets on this live stream that is not a member of True Trading Group, if you're not a member, I asked this question yesterday. Literally yesterday, I went over this with you guys on the live stream here. And I asked you, if you're not profitable yet, if you're not where you want to be, what do you think it would take for you to be able to make money? Like, what do you need? What are you looking for that you think is going to help you become profitable? That's not a rhetorical question. I'm being serious. I want you to really think about, what would it take for me to be profitable? What do you think you need? Because here at True Trading Group, guys, the moderators and I, we really stick our necks out there. I mean, not only do I come on this YouTube channel, I tell you, hey, this is what I think is going to happen over tomorrow, the next week, etc. And sometimes I'm wrong, but more often than not, I'm right. The moderators and I collectively as a group, have been able to maintain a cumulative win rate on all of our executions of around 80%, now going on roughly the last 5 years. We upload our trading records from our brokerage accounts onto our website every day, so you guys can actually see all the executions that our mods make, all the green trades, all the red trades, the entries that take profits, the stop losses, the break evens. You guys get to see all of it. We're fully transparent. Anything you want to know, it's right there on the website. Okay. But the mods and I will always tell you before we get into positions what we think, what stocks we're focused on, what prices we're looking at. And that's how members are able to become profitable. That's how members are able to make money. And if you're not a member, you might say, well, how do I know that your members are actually profitable? How do I know that your members are actually making money? And the only way for me to prove that to you is to have them tell you themselves. Members of True Trading Group, do me a favor and type the number 1 if you're making money and you're becoming better traders because of TTG. Again, if you are making money, if you are becoming a better trader, type the number 1 in chat right now. Anyone that's not a member, you should pay attention to how many people type the number 1 telling you that they're making money. Because if they can do it, there is absolutely zero reason why you cannot. They are not smarter than you. They are not luckier than you. They don't have more time than you. 82% of our members have a full-time job. They download our mobile app. They get real-time push notifications when our moderators enter and exit positions. So even when they're not in front of their computer, they can follow along with what it is that we're doing during the day. You can too. These are your friends, your family members, and your coworkers, guys. These aren't necessarily people that were trained on Wall Street. If they can do this, then so can you. And a lot of the reason why they can do this, it's not only just obviously the education at True Trading Group is top tier. You're going to get the same level of education from the training program that I went through when I worked at a fund in New York. So you're going to get a real level of education here. No gimmicks and stupid nonsense. You're going to really learn how to navigate the markets. You also have access to some of the best trading tools this industry has to offer. Some of you may already pay for these things on your own. You don't have to anymore when you become a member, like Benzinga Pro's newsfeed, Trading Views charting software, the Trade Ideas scanner, unusual options activity, options flow, dark pool data, short data, analyst ratings, congressional trading data, our AI trading assistant. All of these things are included when you join True Trading Group. It's part of your annual membership. Okay, this is why we're a finalist last year for the Benzinga FinTech Awards, because we are the first platform to take all of these products and work out deals with these companies to bring them under one roof so that you, the retail trader, has access to these tools without having to spend an arm and a leg to get them. Because if you went to those companies on your own and you bought all these things that I just said, you're spending probably $5 or $6 grand a year. That's crazy. It's a lot of money to ask somebody to spend on just tools. But unfortunately, these tools give you more information. They help you make better decisions and they increase your chances of success. So you should use them. Professionals do. There's a reason for it. They can help give you an edge. So you should have access to them. That's why we put those all into the annual membership that is True Trading Group. You don't have to pay extra for them. But a lot of the reason why also that members are able to make money and that they're able to be successful is because of the quality of the analysis that they get. And this takes me back to the question that I asked. If you're not yet successful, if you're not profitable, what would it take? Would it take maybe a professional trader every single day telling you what they think the market's going to do, what prices you should be getting long, what prices they're going to be getting long, what prices they're going to be getting short, what stocks they're focused on, where they want to buy, where they want to sell, what they want to see in order to get in or get out? Would that help you make money? And I'm not talking about them saying this to you after the fact. I'm talking about if before 9:30 a.m. Eastern, before the market opens, if somebody was to tell you, this is the plan, can you follow it? Yes or no? Is that enough for you to reach your goals and become profitable? That's the question I want you to ask yourself. And if the answer to that question is yes, then look no further, because it is exactly what we do here. It's why we've gone from 100 members to 10,000. Every single day before the market opens, we give you our thoughts on the market and the stocks that we are focused on with very specific detailed entry and exit prices. Today, before the market opened, I told everybody inside of chat, guys, I'm expecting a follow-through sell-off in the early morning off of yesterday's big flush out day. I think we find support in the high 530s around 538. And then I think the market bounces back into the 540s. That was the exact analysis and game plan that we gave members this morning before the market opened. Not after the fact, before the fact. And again, I'm not right all the time. It might sound like I'm boasting and I'm bragging because literally yesterday I did the same thing. I told you this is the analysis that we give, and then this is what ends up happening. And a lot of times we're right. Most of the time we're right, but not all the time. I'm going to be wrong sometimes. I'm going to have red trades. I'm human too. But it's all about consistency. And it's all about being right a hell of a lot more than you are wrong. And it's all about making more money when you are right than you lose when you're wrong. And that's how you be consistently profitable over an extended period of time. And that's what you all seek. I grabbed a quick video clip from our platform this morning. I want to show it to you. And anyone here that's not a member, I want you to listen very carefully to what I say. And then I want you to think, based on that instruction, would you have been able to profit from the trading action that took place today? If you heard this analysis before 9:30, do you think you would have been able to make money today? That's all I want you to think about. Let's go ahead and play that clip. Does the market continue off of yesterday's flush is the big question. And I don't think so. And that might come as a surprise to some people. I think that the support level, I think the support levels that we are getting into right now are strong enough to give us a 1 or 2 day bounce, just like 550 gave us a 1 or 2 day bounce. So you remember when we dropped into that 550 on Friday and I was like, hey, we could bounce here for a day or two. And then we got bang, bang, 1, 2 days back to the upside. Now that we're down into these support levels, and here's your support level here is about $2 wide. There's 540, which is pre-market low, but it's also gap entry here from June. And then gap fill is 537. Okay. So, you know, you can get all the way into all of 538 and still be within this zone. What I actually think we may see happen here is that very early, so the morning session, the markets push into the high 530s, find their footing in the middle of the day, and then bounce back into the low 540s in the afternoon. There you have it. So you just heard me very specifically before the market opened tell you that I think the market right off the morning, very early, we're going to push into the high 530s. We're going to find our footing, and then we're going to bounce back into the low 540s. That's what you just heard me say. Well, I just drew a line at 538. You heard me say that we might pull back to all of 538 and then find our footing and bounce back into the low 540s. That's what you literally just heard. So let's draw a line across the 540s around 538, and let's see what actually happens today. Today, the market opens up. Here we are. This is the same 538 line. The market opens. What happens in the first 45 minutes of the day? The market sells off. The market sells off. Where do we go? Where do we go right down into? Well, wouldn't you know? We go right down into 548. And then what happens at 538? What happens off of 538? The market finds their footing and then rallies back into the 540s. So again, the question that I ask, if somebody told you before the market opened that I'm looking for the market to go down first to 538 and then bounce back into the 540s, could you have used that analysis to make money today? And I want you to really think about the answer to that question. Could you have used that information to make money today? Now, what we think about the markets going forward into tomorrow is the following. Tomorrow, I think the price action off the PCE number is going to tell me a lot. All right. I'm going to be paying very close attention to what the market does at 8:30. Because at 8:30, that's when that PCE number comes out. If tomorrow, after the PCE number, the market is here, then tomorrow I think will be a long day. So if we were to gap up into here, I would look for any little bit of a pullback early, and then I would look for the markets to bounce, and I would look for the markets to put in a candle that looks something like this. So if that PCE number, if we're still green tomorrow, and I don't mean just green like 538.5, I mean if we're up around 542, I think you're going to get a candle that looks like this tomorrow. There is enough of a support, I think, at this gap fill that could try to give you a bounce off this zone. Depending on how the market reacts to PCE, will give me the green light on whether or not we look for bounces off of this level. However, if we come into the 830 PCE number and the market is sitting here, if we are still sitting down here, we're slightly red, or we're just like really, really, really tiny green, then I don't think that this level is necessarily safe. And I think you can get a situation here where the market's put in just another little green, a little red day that looks something like this. So it's really going to be based on how we and I know you're like, oh, well, thanks, Mike. You're like, oh, the market could go up, the market could go down. Thanks for the analysis. The point that I'm trying to give you is I'm giving you very specific price action because I don't know what I think the market's going to do yet. I'm going to wait and see how it reacts to the PCE inflation at 8:30. The reaction to that number is going to dictate for me whether I'm going to go long or short. Okay. So that's how we're really going to look at what we're going to do and how we're going to game plan for tomorrow. Is we're going to wait for the reaction to that PCE number and then play it from there. But I think there's enough technical support that if a fundamental catalyst gives you some, like if you get a lower than expected PCE read, I think you can see the markets, gap back above 540. And I think you can see us push back to 543 or something like that tomorrow. Okay. So that's the game plan going into tomorrow. Now I go back to anyone here that's not a member that was listening to me ask you the question about the SPY. I have one more thing that I want to show you. I asked you again, do you think you could have made money off of that analysis in the pre-market session? Well, that's if you trade the SPY. What if you don't trade the SPY? What if you trade small caps? What if you trade $2, $3, $5 stocks? What if that's what you trade? You're like, your SPY analysis doesn't help me. All right, cool. No problem. We trade everything in True Trading Group. We trade small caps, mid caps, large caps, options, futures. We trade it all. We day trade, we swing trade, we scalp, we core trade. We do it all. Now I want you to think again, if somebody were to tell you before 9:30, again, that's the key, before the market opens, if somebody was to say to you, hey, I'm a good trader. I've been doing this for 18 years. I'm telling you now, if stock ABCD gets to $2.80, I'm going to short it. And if it gets above $3, I'm going to get out and take a loss. But I'm going to short it at 280 because I think the stock's going to go back under $2. That's what I'm going to do. You do what you want, but this is what I'm going to do. Cool? Cool. Good luck. Market opens. Bell rings. Are you able to make money from that analysis? That's the question I'm asking you. Now I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to play a video clip for you from, again, before the market opened, of me giving all of our members the trading plan for POAI. That's where I made my money today. Okay. I shorted POAI. I had really good reasons for it. I shorted it through Lightspeed. It was very easy to borrow. But I want you to listen to the analysis and ask yourself, could you make money with this type of analysis every day? Let's go ahead and play that clip. POAI. Be very careful of this thing. I actually, got shares to short on Lightspeed because there's a massive level, and they were very cheap on Lightspeed too, by the way. Massive level of resistance on POAI at 280. You can see it drawn on my screen. You can see all of this support from 2023 and 2024. If it can't get back above that, and also there's support back there from earlier 2023. This is a huge level for the stock. If it can't get above it, it can crater itself back underneath $2. And that's what I'm looking for on POAI. So there you have it. So again, that's from before the market opened, where I told everybody this huge resistance level up at 280. If we get up to 280 and we can't break through, I'm going to get short because I think the stock can crater back underneath $2. Right? So you just heard me. That was the game plan. Well, let's draw a line across that level. Why did I say 280? Well, let's take a look. Right? I don't just pick these numbers out of thin air. Let's go over it and let's learn. You take a look at the daily chart, okay? And I don't forget about today. I want to just show you here. Forget about today's candle. I won't show you today's candle yet. But here's the daily chart. This is what this chart looked like, and the stock was gapping up to here to start the day, right? This is where the stock was gapping up to. And when you take a look at the chart, you look to the left and you're like, wow, all right, this used to be just a massive level of support, right? Look at all this support there that you had on POAI. Then you broke underneath it here in March, and then it became resistance. And the stock sold off, and you never really got back up to test that level. If I go back even further to the left, we can see that, wow, even still back there, even further, that level was support. So this used to be a massive support level that broke to the downside, then became resistance. So we now know this is a resistance level. Okay. Perfect. So we know that's a resistance level, and the stock is gapping up, but you're still underneath the level. I just didn't think that this stock was going to have enough juice to break through this resistance, because this stock was at $1 yesterday, and then it gaps up to $2.50. And to think you're going to break through this massive level with such an extended move, I didn't think it was going to be possible. The thing you guys have to remember, there's a big difference in a major level and a minor level. I teach this to all of our members. Major levels will have a tendency to reverse trend. Minor levels will more so pause trend. Major levels are where we structure our trade ideas. That's where we get in, and that's where we have and that's where we set stop losses around. Minor levels are where our profit targets lie. And that's how you go about structuring your trading plans. So when I see this level, I say to myself, all right, let's get short in front of that level. And if we break through the level, I'm going to get out. I'll get out if we break through the level. So let's go to a 3-minute chart now. This is the daily. I'm going to leave this line here. I'm not going to touch that line. I'm going to leave it there. We're going to go to a 3-minute chart. All right, let's go to a 3-minute chart. Let's see what happened today. All right, here we go. Let's zoom it in. Market's open. All right, here we go. Market's open. Here we are, 250. We pull back real quick into $2. We find, and then boom, we shoot up. We shoot up, and where do we shoot right into? This level that I drew. That's the line. Well, what did I say to you? If it gets there, I'm going to get short. So what did I do? I literally got short right there at $2.75. $2.75. There's my entry, okay, off of these two topping tails. And I set my stop loss above $3. Okay, above $3 was my stop loss. So there's my entry. There's my stop loss. And then the stock just completely rolled over. And where is it now? $1.87. So I just told you, I think the stock can crater and get back under $2. So I shorted it here. I took one profit here. I took two profits here. No, I'm sorry. Yep. Two profits here. I took another profit here. And then I was flat here. So this is my trade. Short, profit, 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 profit. Thank you very much. Done for the day. Boom. That fast. That's it. That's it. An hour and a half. 3-1, done for the day. How about that? All off of this level and all off analysis that you got before the market opened. And again, I ask, if you're not a member of True Trading Group, what would it take for you to become profitable? Would analysis like this help reach your goals? If the answer is yes, the next thing that you should do is go to ttgoffer.com. Go to ttgoffer.com. You can join our annual membership for just $797 for the entire year. There is no hidden fee. There's no additional cost. There's no upsell. Everything on that page is included for the $797 for the entire year. Nothing on ttgoffer.com is going to cost you $1 more. Nothing. It is all included in the $797. We also offer you a double your money back guarantee. So if anybody is skeptical, if anybody's nervous, we offer a double your money back guarantee. The way it follows is simple. It's right on the checkout page. It's in black and white. Go read it. Yes, it's real. Okay, that's ttgoffer.com. The way the double your money back guarantee works is you join today, you pay $797 for the whole year. I ask you to go through our courses, pass our quizzes, attend one study group. If you do those things and you're still unable to make enough winning trades to equal the $797 membership fee at least one time, you can't do that during your membership. We will not just give you back $797. We will give you back $1,594, double what you are spending to join TTG. Now, I can offer you double your money back because our refund rate is actually less than 2.5%. Our retention rate is 78%. I mean, 78% of our members renew their membership or they've gone on to become lifetime members of the community. All you have to do is go to ttgoffer.com. You'll get all of our courses, simplified and expanded upon version of the training program that I went through and I received working at the Fund in New York. You get Benzinga Pro's newsfeed, TradingView's premium charting software, the trade idea scanners on our platform for you to use, unusual options activity, options flow, dark pool data, analyst rating, short data, congressional trading data, our AI trading assistant, 1,000 hours of video recordings from different workshops that we've hosted. All of this is included for the $797 for the whole year. I don't think you need the double your money back guarantee, but it's there for peace of mind and it's there to hold us accountable. I know I talk a big game on this YouTube channel, but I talk a big game because I see the success that our members have. Our biggest form of marketing is our members and is member referrals. Our members have success. They stay with us at a 78% clip. They tell their friends, their family, their coworkers, then they join. Then they have success. They stay at a 78% clip. They tell their friends, their family members, their coworkers, they join. That's how we've gone from 100 members to 10,000. How many members here, type the number 2 if you've ever recommended True Trading Group to somebody else. Type the number 2 if you have ever recommended True Trading Group to somebody else. And if you're not a part of this community, if you're not a member of True Trading Group yet, just pay attention to how many people are going to type the number 2. This is our biggest form of marketing. We don't spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on marketing like a lot of our competitors do. Our marketing is the success of our members. And if they weren't successful, 78% of them would not renew their membership. But when they have success, they get excited about it and they tell others. Again, I will tell you that there is nothing different. There's nothing that separates you and them. They were once on a YouTube live stream, just like you are now, contemplating whether or not they think that they can do this. And I'm here to tell you, and they are here to tell you that you can. And if you're worried you can't, I'll give you a double your money back guarantee. What do you have to lose? We do accept Klarna and PayPal credit. If you guys want to use those payment options, you can. If you have any questions, text us. 786-505-4049. Phone number is right down there at the bottom of your screen. Again, that's 786-505-4049. Just text that number with any questions. We are fully transparent. We are an open book. Anything you want to know, you text that number. And if you feel like, I'm just not ready. I'm just not ready for a full membership. We do have a trial you can try out too. I'm just going to warn you that if you join the trial membership first and then decide you want to become an annual member, it's going to cost you a lot more than $797. It's going to cost you over $1,000 if you want to do the trial. The $797 is just the offer I'm giving you now for being on this YouTube stream. So if you guys want to join for the $797, you go straight to ttgoffer.com. If you want to do the trial, that's fine. But just remember, if after your trial, you're like, this is awesome, I want to join full time, it's going to cost you more. But if you want to do the trial, go to ttgtrial.com. You get 7 trading days with us for free, not 7 calendar days. It's 7 trading days. Now that's going to be big because Saturday and Sunday don't count against your 7 days. And guess what next week is? Microsoft, Apple, and Meta earnings. Yes. So next week is going to be bonkers, nuts, insane, crazy. So if you want to join the trial, you can trade with us tomorrow. You can trade with us all next week. You get 7 full trading days with us. Go to ttgtrial.com. It's free. There's no automatic upgrade if you forget to cancel. None of that funny business. If you don't decide to become an annual member, it just expires. There is no credit card or anything like that on file that gets charged. None of that stuff. So you guys just go to ttgtrial.com. Otherwise, if you're ready to join for the $797, you feel like this analysis can help you guys make money, just like the rest of our members, then you go to ttgoffer.com now. All right, folks, that wraps things up for me here today. All of our members, do not forget, Adam is giving a really awesome special presentation inside of the main chat room immediately following this live stream. So all of my members, go into the main chat room now. If you are a member, go into the main chat room now. Adam is going to be doing an awesome presentation. He's going to share and show you guys something that I know you're going to love because I love it. I can't wait to use it. I'm super excited about it. So head on in there now, and Adam will be with you guys in a couple of moments, and he'll go over and show you all that stuff. For those of you that are not members, change that. Go to ttgoffer.com or do the trial, ttgtrial.com. Any questions, text us 786-505-4049. 49. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, turn on your notifications. Don't ever miss the golden nuggets that drop down from the skies upon us on this YouTube channel. I'll see you guys.